Hello, Team Michigan. We're going to have a halftime talk to focus on the first half of the year and what we're going to do moving forward into the second half of the year. So, as far as a membership halftime talk, for those of us who may have played sports, halftime is a time when we focus on what we did well in the game, and our coaches talk to us about what we need to do to shore up those things that didn't go so well so that we can make the necessary adjustments as a team to go out, get better results, and win the game. And for us, winning the game is to meet our membership goals, get every council recruiting and active, bringing in new members. So at the end of the year, we don't have councils with zero membership growth. That would be winning the game for us. Quick membership update. And while we're doing this update, I'd like you to think about where you're at and what your halftime score would be as councils, districts, dioceses. But at the state level, and that's where we're going to talk today, 33% of we've met 33% of our first half goal. That means we've brought in 730 members out of our intake goal of 2170. But we only have 62% of our councils that haven't grown at all. They're sitting at 0 member intake. And that equals 280 councils with no members being brought into their council. 20 districts have not added any new members out of all the councils within those districts. So these numbers are the numbers we need to take stock in and make adjustments to so that we can get to every council growing. But we have had some successes, and I would like to recognize those councils for what they've done. We have 10 districts that are between 50% of their goal and 160% of their goal. 35 councils that are at 50% or greater, 7 of those councils that are 100% or greater, already sitting at their STAR intake goal. These councils probably have a great shot at double STAR. And then 3 of those councils are large councils that had a membership number last year of 35 and were inspired because of the new number of 20 as their goal, that they've already reached that goal. And quite frankly, they could be double STAR as large councils, which hasn't been even close to obtainable for them in many years. So they're excited about the new lower quota for their large council. So we're going to take assessment, we're going to learn from that, we're going to take action, and we're going to improve our performance in the second half. So key areas to focus on. Probably number one for everyone is to build relationships at all levels. We need to build these one-on-one relationships with our priests, with our council officers, with our fellow district deputies and diocesan officers, state directors, our state officers, I should say, our SDRRs, our whole Michigan leadership team. We all need to know each other better. We need to support each other more to get this done. And with these relationships, these people become your friends, and they will support you and they will help you with your goals. 10 keys we'll talk about that will lead us to success or successful outcomes. The first one, we need to focus on the why. We've talked about this before, know your why you joined. But first we need to understand that we need to invite men to join versus recruiting. And I know I'm going to mess up and say recruiting, but it's all about inviting. It's that one-on-one invitation for a man to join the Knights of Columbus and join your council. Give them an opportunity to be somebody. And what that means is a better husband, better father, and a better Catholic. And they can be that through the Knights of Columbus. Promote our faith in action and leave no neighbor behind programs. These programs change lives and should be able to excite the new member into having that effect on people's lives. Use the Into the Breach and Everyday Heroes videos when you have events. I know we're not having these in-person events, but even your virtual events, you could start this off in your council meeting, or play it just before a virtual council meeting, get everybody excited about that. Maybe a virtual open house where you're inviting candidates to come learn more about the Knights of Columbus. So these are great tools. And with Father McGivney's beatification, this is no better time to invite families to our order. Our founder is on the path to sainthood, with this miracle that has been recognized by Rome. Great story. Make sure you're sharing that. Build your elevator speech and why, and use the small handout cards, why I'm a knight. It's a great few paragraphs that sums up what it is and why you are a Knight of Columbus. And if you're struggling with understanding what your why is, talk with your fellow district deputies, talk with, just seek help. I'll be willing to lay out, a really quick why with anybody that would like to contact me and work through that with you. We all joined, and probably at one point in time, we all asked, what's in it for me? And no one really goes through life without understanding that. We don't really do anything unless it excites us in one way or another. So it's a key to recruiting success. Find out what men in your church and in your Catholic community are interested in getting out of their membership, and give them that chance to get it. And quite frankly, I think our Faith in Action programs offer more to prospects today and new knights today than many of our programs in the past. It's very easy to understand. We're doing a ton of things. Make sure you have good Faith in Action programs, and that will help them for the what's in it for me question. Make every effort to have teams be your membership growth. So you want to establish good teams focused on growth within your councils and within your districts. Hold the council leaders accountable for membership growth. Ask them all to recruit one new member that year. And see, I use the term recruit. Ask them all to invite one new member to their council each year. And if your officers are doing that, you're going to meet your goals. If they buy into membership growth, you're going to have a growth culture. Each officer should have a goal of inviting, a new member, correct? Get goals for members, set goals for members, or membership growth for each parish in roundtables. So let's talk about roundtables. Supreme tells us that on average, 3 new members come through each roundtable program or each active roundtable program. So if you're a very large council and you have 5 or 6, that's 15 or 18 men that would come into your council through the invitation of your parish roundtable. So that is a key to our success going forward. And then hold your state officers, directors, DDs accountable for achieving these growth goals too. We're all part of councils. I know I am, and I actively recruit. Again, I actively invite men to join the Knights of Columbus, and I have been successful this year in bringing one man to our order. So challenge these men, and these men should be stepping up to the plate and helping Michigan grow, helping their local councils grow. Build a culture within your councils that everyone is responsible for membership growth and retention. Get them active and keep them active. And we in Michigan have a primary goal, and that's getting all councils recruiting. Again, getting all councils inviting men to be part of their part of the Knights of Columbus. So this is our first and foremost activity. We want every council to be bringing new men in and growing. And our state, diocesan, district, and council leaders need to address this goal regularly. We need to talk about it. So DDs, bring this message. Diocesan membership and program director, please bring this message with you. SDRRs, please have this message number one in your list of things to talk to councils about, and help struggling councils to grow. Help them build their culture of growth. We need to start now helping councils that are at zero or may have been at zero for the last 3 to 5 years. These councils are struggling and, quite frankly, may not be with us much longer if we can't help them build some sort of culture of growth, some understanding that they have something very valuable and they need to be inviting men to be a part of it. Keep communicating at a high level. So know what's important. Like I just talked about, 100% membership active councils is our number one goal. We have talking points that tell us on a monthly basis, inform us what we should be doing. We should be promoting the email system. We should be calling Grand Knights that are very close to achieving their membership goals. We should be, DD should be communicating with Grand Knights often. Directors should be communicating with district deputies, and so on. And we need to make communication something that we do often. We always encourage during this communication exchange, and we praise the success that councils are performing to. We need to make training a priority. And I know that our worthy state deputy has done that. He's appointed Jim Escott to be Michigan's training director. Have you attended any of his classes? Have you promoted any of his classes? We have a Supreme training director in John Olson. So Supreme is supporting us with great programs in the training area. Have you attended those or promoted those within your district? If not, I really suggest you do. And we can focus training where it's most needed. Do you know, as a district deputy or a diocesan director, what your councils need? Do they need help with virtual meetings and conference calls to do their business? Do they need help in understanding Delta drives and retention? Do they need program training? Do they need a better understanding of roles and responsibilities? Do they need better or more thorough FS training to help them through, say, e-membership processes? You're our first line of understanding what each council needs. So keep this in mind when you're dealing with your councils in the second half. Make notes of which councils need which training, and I am sure that we can get that to them as needed so that they're no longer struggling, that the resources are given to them and they're put where it's most needed. Faith in Action and Leave No Neighbor Behind are great programs, and quite frankly are here during this pandemic at the right time. Even just having a wellness check for your council and for the parish, where we're calling people and checking on people, fits into that Leave No Neighbor Behind program. So make sure all councils are doing this. It's a very visible way for our Catholic community to see what the Knights of Columbus are about, and also encourage the councils to share these programs with their pastor and align what we can offer our pastor with what he feels the parish needs. And many of these things can be shaped in a way that they are very low contact, COVID-19 safety compliant, and that they don't endanger the folks that are performing them. And in presenting it this way, make sure it's a can-do method, that it isn't shut down, and develop that culture of a can-do engagement within your council. And then the next thing is our clergy and our field agents, quite frankly, are our best recruiters, and we need to make sure that they understand what our team goals are. Michigan Knights have the great support of our bishops, diocesan chaplains, and many of our parish priests. They're behind us 100%, and they are our brothers. But are we consulting them to understand what their needs are, Do we know what Father wants now? Are we sharing the goals of our council and aligning our needs together? Do they have a copy of Faith in Action Guide so that they understand what we could do for them, or what programs might best function within their parish? Do they know who their diocesan chaplain is? All of these men know who Father Paul Beline is, or in Grand Rapids, who Father Lomley is. But do they know that he is the Knights of Columbus diocesan chaplain? If they did, they may consult him more often when Knights of Columbus issues come up. So make sure that they know who their colleague is, who is representing them in the Knights of Columbus. I think that's important. And make sure that they understand what your membership growth, make them a part of your membership growth team, and I am sure that they will perform well. Our general agents and field agents are professional promoters of the Knights of Columbus, and they need to be part of your team. And you can engage them proactively by scheduling your 2 fraternal benefit events that are required for each council. This is something that's been put into council's hands, where the Grand Knight and council leadership can take a responsibility of the insurance portion of your goal. You can schedule these things proactively, where before you needed the field agent to perform for you, to get the insurance plans in place for your members so that you could achieve your full Star Council award level. Now it's up to you to get that scheduled, and you can do that proactively, and it's really in your hands. That tool of success lies with you. So moral of this slide is you have 2 of your best players on your team. Don't leave them on the bench. And also maybe run some plays that utilizes their strengths. So get Father involved and get your field agent involved. Use incentives. We have always had incentives in Michigan, and we will always have incentives from Supreme, one level or another. Make sure that you understand them and that you're promoting them. And these incentives are listed on our website at mikfc.org. And I have a question for you. The free membership, we had free membership available 4 out of the 6 months of our first half of the year. Did you promote it? So we had, so that's a significant amount of time that we had free membership, 2/3 of our first half. And one of the things that the state deputy wanted to do is buy dinner and bring it to council meetings, and that has been kind of held back a little bit by our pandemic, but those dinners have been earned and will be awarded. And the state deputy wants to have a personal relationship with those councils that are succeeding and thank them. That incentive still goes. We also wanted to recognize the pastor with Stoll and Chasuble for membership growth. Those incentive plans are on our website and well documented. Make sure you understand them and are promoting them. And the 10th key is online membership, online exemplification, and live exemplifications. We're at the 1-year anniversary of this new exemplification and its use in Michigan. And I think it's the best way to bring a new Knight of Columbus in, is to use online membership. They become a Knight right away. We should aggressively promote it. One thing to note is it's now $35 per year for e-membership, but the opportunity to be a Knight of Columbus is still priceless in my mind, in the opportunity to grow in faith and charity. And make sure that you are working with the councils, that you have a schedule and what you're going to use. Are you going to use on-demand exemplifications for these e-members? Are you going to use a virtual exemplification, say the one that the state puts on the last Wednesday and last Sunday of every month? And are you putting together an in-person exemplification team? So these things are all tools that we have today and many councils are using effectively. So my question is what is holding us back from inviting men to join the Knights of Columbus? All these tools could even work themselves into a virtual Delta church drive. You could take these tools, put them in bulletin articles, announcements on your websites, Facebook pages, drive your candidates through your invitations to kfc.org/join us, have them sign up, schedule them into an on-demand exemplification, bring them in through virtual council meetings. This is all something you can do, and it is definitely a safe way to bring men in during this pandemic. So always remember to inspire. You know, we're the coaches of Team Michigan. Each and every one of us take a leadership role in running our area of the state. So as district deputies, you lead your councils. Make sure that your leaders in the councils are always encouraged, that you're mentoring them and communicating often and clearly. Build up your teams and inspire your brother knights through your hands-on leadership. I'm going to leave you with this. Let's shore up our teams during this second half. Let's give our best efforts to finish strong. And thank you all for what you do to build our order. And let's pray. Blessed Father McGivney, pray for us.